Hi everyone, it's Simon Keeling here at weatherweb.net on Wednesday the 19th of March. Thanks again for watching. As always, the site here is kept completely free of charge because of you basically coming back and watching the videos and using the site. When you do it, it means we can put more adverts in front of you, which basically generates the revenue that keeps the site free of charge. Now, we're a commercial outfit here at weatherweb.net, so we exist to make money. This isn't a hobby site, it's a professional site. And long may it continue with your support. It will do, and we can add new features all the time. So thanks for that. Please do spread the word. Satellite picture today is quite a good one. It shows the cloud being ripped apart as this front has tracked its way eastwards during the course of today. You can see there most of the cloud look affecting western parts of Scotland, which is where we've seen some outbreaks of rain. Bits and pieces of cloud as well affecting western parts of Wales, and also here look down the eastern coast of the country. What's interesting is that as the wind hits the mountains out towards the west, it dries out and it descends and then dries out over these eastern parts, which means that the cloud breaks. But then it rises again and we get the effect of the cloud you can see here. So some really interesting cloud types out there just at the moment, some interesting cloud formations. So back to today first of all. And what it's showing is high pressure down towards the south of the country at the moment. This strong southwesterly flow course, which is what we've all seen during the course of today. As we go through the coming days, so what we're going to find is a change taking place. And what will happen here is that tomorrow we'll find that cold front moving its way eastwards. It clears eventually down towards the southeast by Friday, and better conditions will be moving in by then. This produces a mix of sunshine and showers and cooler conditions for all during the course of Friday. Most of the showers affecting more western parts of the country. Then, as we head into the weekend, things become more unsettled through Saturday. You notice there low pressure up towards the north, the troughs rotating around the low, bringing some showers. And by Sunday, we got troughs again moving their way southwards through the country, bringing some showers. Most of those showers off towards the east. More western areas tending to become dry with a ridge of high pressure building through. So better conditions out towards the west of the country during Sunday. And then into Monday, higher pressure starts to take control, so conditions drying up. And it looks like it should be dry through Tuesday and Wednesday of next week too, although an increased risk of overnight frost. Now, what about the longer term? This is where things start to become a little bit more tricky, or interesting, you might say. This is the 7 to 10 day means of the 500 millibar flow from next Wednesday through to a week on Saturday. And what we have here is the ECMWF on the left hand side, GFS is in the middle here, and the Canadian model is off towards the right. Now, ECMWF has this build of heights down to the south. It keeps the jet stream basically towards the north and the northwest of Scotland, and that pattern would keep the south of the UK generally dry and mainly high pressure. Northern areas seeing outbreaks of rain at times. But you notice there, look, there is a slight dip in the geopotential height lines, showing us that there is the threat of a trough across the country. Now, GFS makes more of the high look. The GFS tries to bring those higher than normal heights right the way through the country, keeps the jet stream well north, and basically keeps most of the UK under dry conditions throughout the week. The Canadian, though, is the opposite. What the Canadian does is it does still see these higher than normal heights in the Atlantic, but it makes far more look of the trough here towards the eastern parts of the UK, and says, well, actually, later on next week, we are going to see unsettled conditions. And the Canadian actually has the jet stream blowing through here, so it makes the north of the country far more unsettled. So we have the choice there really between the various different models of near normal conditions, drier conditions, wetter conditions, and it's really trying to decide which one of those looks as if it's going to be about right. I tend to lean in towards the ECMWF ideas, which would basically take us into dry weather across the south during the end of next week and into next weekend, although there could still be some showers, but northern areas would be in more unsettled conditions. Now, if we just look at each of the models, this is the forecast, and they're all for the same day. So this is the forecast for the 29th of March. And so this would be Saturday the 29th of March, and you can see here the ECMWF operational has a ridge here building in from the Atlantic, but look at that trough there. You see the trough line there at 500 millibars. that's across the east of the country running down to Central Europe, that would be more unsettled conditions. So within that sort of area there, we'd probably see rain or some showers. But this ridge pumping northwards all the time, and with that ridge pumping northwards, what that would do is eventually topple through the country, bringing us fairer conditions as we headed into the weekend. So compare that to the ECMWF ensemble. Now remember, this is several models put together, but it's meant to give us a better idea of conditions. Still at the ridge out towards the east, the trough is far more broad. The trough's actually here, off towards the east of the country. So again, what it's trying to do here is to bring in some fairly unsettled conditions across Scotland and eastern parts of the country with rain or showers here. But this ridge building in, so it's saying, well, actually, what it's going to do is become drier again as the time progresses past the 29th. GFS ensemble looks like this. The GFS ensemble again builds the ridge look, makes far more of it, as we've just seen on those 10 days. There it is across the country, tries to bring in dry weather, and I can see this because of this pump northwards of the warm air. It will tend to build this ridge through the country, so I can see that being a possible scenario. I think the problem is really, yes, it's going to be dry over the southern half of the UK. It's how far north that dry air extends. And then the GEM, so the Canadian is looking like this. Look, it makes far more, as we said, of the ridge out towards the west, but also of the trough here. Look, over the UK down into Central Europe. So I think what we've got to look at is probably the beginning part of next week being dry with that area of high pressure. And then probably what we need to look at is turning more unsettled, but not overly unsettled, kind of mixed conditions later on in the week. And as I say, I think the ECMWF probably has it around about correct. I mean, if we just look through the charts here, there's today, there's tomorrow, look, and what it does is it brings in that trough and the cooler weather through the course of the weekend. Look, there it is, coming southeastwards on Sunday. You see that trough here, which is what's going to be producing the outbreaks of rain. Here's the ridge, look, out towards the west. You see that just pumping its way northwards there. And if we then go forwards, you'll see what happens is that ridge goes through the country, develops the area of high pressure, look, across the south into the early part of next week. And despite there being a trough go through on Wednesday, bringing some showers up towards the north, the ridge gets back in again, and we see the fairer weather towards the end of the week before we see another trough go through early next weekend, which then brings another quick spell of more unsettled weather before the ridge comes back. So I think this idea of the ECMWF, of these more mixed conditions, particularly across northern areas, but generally mainly dry across the far south, looks to be the way that we go with things just at the moment. So I'll leave you with that for now, but thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Don't forget you can follow us on Twitter at WXWeb, or have a search on Facebook for Weather School. For now though, thanks for watching, and whatever you're doing, keep the sun shining, and bye for now.